this is grade level standard, so this is measurement. So these are the scores for grades 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 last year. And again, these are the percentage of students who are proficient and advanced on the assessments. So you can see the numbers across the top, 54% in 3rd grade, 55% in 4th and 5th grade, 59% in 6th grade, 53% in 7th grade, and 52% in 8th grade. So what exactly does that mean? I think a good thing for us to look at next is really looking at our trends over time, and then also looking at the state averages in Pennsylvania. So I know there's a lot happening up there. The left red column, that is our 2024 PSSA results. The column all the way on the right, the white column, those are the state averages. So if you take a look at the state averages, in most cases we are very close or we are exceeding the state averages. So that is a positive. It's important for me to look at the trends over time, and we have numbers that have gone up significantly or down significantly, and you'll see the other two, the blue and the gray, are our 2023 results and our 2022 results respectively. And if you look, grade 5, our English language arts scores are going up over time, and we surpassed the state average. If you look at our grade 4, they're staying very similar across time. That tells me we need to take a little look at the curriculum and we might need to make a few little tweaks there in 4th grade. So that's something that we've been working on. If we look at grade 6, again, they consistently do very well. It was a bit of a drop last year, but not very much. And grade 7 has been consistent for the last few years. I do want to note we had a new teacher in 7th grade last year, and that might take a bit of getting used to there. I wanted to note that we've begun using the CDTs, which are an assessment from the state, that we can kind of track leading up to the PSSAs, how we expect students to do, and then intervene prior to the actual assessment. So we're using those in 4th through 8th grade to predict success. This is our ELA PBOS, which shows the growth. So all the way to the right is our growth for last year, and I'm super excited to note that, blue is good, green is good, yellow is, didn't quite get there, and red is an area of concern. So if you look over time in 4th grade, students have been making more and more growth every year. That's a positive that we want to know. In 5th grade, we went from negative growth to positive growth last year. Another thing to celebrate. Our 6th grade teachers and students are rocking. They have had dark blue, which is the absolute best growth for the last 3 years. So they're doing such an amazing job. 7th grade, we're actually on a bit of a downward trend there, and I want to let you know what are we doing about that. We've actually brought in a new curriculum for this year that is better aligned to the state standards and aligns with what they're doing in 9th, 10th, and 11th and 12th grade. So the board approved a new program called Study Sync last year, and we've extended it down to 7th grade this year to kind of, we noticed a trend there, and we wanted to work on fixing that moving forward. 8th grade, again, we were in the negative, and now we're showing positive growth. So we have lots of good trends in terms of growth.
Horrible.
Any questions about ELA before I move on to math? I know it's a lot of data, so feel free to slow
No
down.
audio.
Okay, looking at math. Again, these are the percentages of students on the
It's just literally,
PSSA test.
I tried it before the meeting, and now it's just literally, like as soon as the meeting started,
One thing I definitely would like to note
it
in
cut out.
6th grade, we definitely recognize a struggle in 6th grade and in 8th grade with our scores. In 6th grade, we did have a substitute teacher who was struggling last year.
Not really.
To be completely transparent. We worked with him. He did his very best.
No,
Happy to
I've been
our
fucking with
6th
them
grade
all.
teacher who has been teaching over time, who you will see has
Right.
really great
That's what I mean.
is back in place this year. So
No, I don't make it
there's a
worse.
struggle there. And 8th grade, we're working with because we noticed a trend over time, and we're concerned
bad.
about 8th grade scores. Here are our math scores. Again, the left column is this past year. The right white column is the state average. Or exceeding the state average. already mentioned, in 8th grade. Notice how low the 8th grade state average is. Our score is unacceptable. The state average is pretty low as well. So that's something we're focused in on, and we've been doing some modifications to the curriculum. And as I mentioned, we're using the CDTs to better predict student growth there. I also want to note we have several 8th graders who take Algebra 1. And so they're taking the Keystone Assessment and the PSSA assessment. And their content aligned with the Keystone. So there's a bit of an overlap there as well. Looking at our math growth scores, if you'll notice, in 4th grade, we moved to light blue, which is very positive, exceeding a year's worth of growth in the expected growth. We're meeting growth standards in 5th and even 6th grade. We met the growth standard, although our achievement was low. 7th grade, again, exceeded the growth standard, which is very positive. And that 8th grade, as I mentioned, that's an area of focus for us because we are struggling in 8th grade. Any questions about math, PSSAs? Okay. Our science scores. So taking a look at science, we have historically done very well in science. In 4th grade, 85% of our students are proficient in advanced, and in 8th grade, 64% of our students are proficient or advanced.
All right, man. I'll see you
Taking a
tomorrow.
look at comparison-wise, again, we are exceeding the state average, and we've kept the same or improved slightly. I love these scores. I'm going to show you the growth scores are amazing as well. Blue and green, we have positive growth, even exceeding. The state standards are changing in science, as I mentioned. So we're hoping to keep this positivity with our instruction while adjusting the curriculum to align with the updated STEEL standards. Questions about science, PSSAs? Okay. Keystone exams. As you know, Keystone exams are also administered annually. Those are the subjects we test in: literature, Algebra 1, and biology. They're end-of-course assessments. And we call the courses here trigger courses because students must take the Keystone examination at the end of that course. According to Act 158, all students to graduate need to meet a pathway. And the easiest pathway is to pass all 3 of those Keystone exams. We have some students who are unable to meet that pathway, and they have some other options, but we encourage all of our students to do their very best. This is the easiest pathway to graduation under Act 158. So again, we'll be looking at achievement on the Keystone exam and growth in terms of PFAS. All right. So you'll notice our Algebra 1 scores, we get 2% better every year since I've been here. We improve 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%. So I'm excited at the positive growth. However, it's still not quite where we would like it to be in terms of the students proficient and advanced. So what we did this year, what we heard from the teachers is students are not all coming in with the skills that they need. So what we did is we added a pre-algebra course for students that we have the data to show they're not quite ready for Algebra 1. So instead of trying to cram everything in, we've added the pre-algebra course for those who need it based on past data. So that is a change we've made to hopefully increase that Algebra 1 score. We also have a teacher piloting something. I'm not sure if you've heard of our Project Lead the Way courses. There's a new Project Lead the Way course called Algebra 1 Advantage. And one of our teachers is piloting some of the activities. They're real life activities for how you actually use Algebra 1 in the real world. And so he's piloting them and trying them with students to see if we think they would make a positive advantage in our Algebra 1 course as well. So trying to connect it to real life as much as possible without jumping in because it is a Keystone Trigger course. So we wanted to make sure the projects and activities fit the content we need students to know and understand by the end of the course. So those are 2 things that we're doing to work on increasing the Algebra 1 score. But we do keep moving forward every year. Here is the comparison report. Our Algebra 1, again, we're slightly below the state average, but we keep improving. Our biology, we're very close to one of our highest scores ever from last year. We hit 63% advanced and proficient. And our literature, we tied the highest score we've ever had from 2 years ago. We have the exact same one for this past year, 70% advanced and proficient. Still room to grow, but some pretty strong scores there, especially when you look at the state average. Here are the PVOS scores for this past year. Again, positive growth in Algebra 1 for the first time in many years, so we're very proud of that. Biology, dark blue, exceeds the growth standard, and literature, for the first time, we have the dark blue, and we exceed the growth standard again. So we're very proud of our students and all the work they've done to prepare for, and all the teachers have done to get them ready for those Keystone exams. Any questions about the Keystone exams? Okay. All right, so this is where we get into what the state releases and how the state measures each school district. So the Future Ready P8 Index is what the state uses, and it is a collection of many different progress measures, and I'm going to show those to you. It includes assessments, on-track measures, career readiness standards. It includes attendance, to look at both growth and achievement and success of students and the district as a whole. So this data breaks down by building, so I don't break it down by grade level, but by building. So we will start by looking at Mayfield campus. So there's a lot happening on that screen. Arrows pointing up indicate there's positive growth from last year. Red means there's not enough growth. Green would mean there's adequate growth. Blue means we exceed the growth standard. So looking at that particular screen, we have some positives going upward. Our growth data, which you saw, our elementary PVOS growth data, is excellent. I have to give props to Mayfield campus because they got a score of 100, which is the highest score you get for growth. So they had a score of 100 in growth in our ELA. So that's incredibly positive. We did not meet the standards in achievement in ELA or achievement in math or growth in math. And the substitute we spoke of was stationed at Mayfield campus, but again, we have work to do and we're going to keep working to move forward there. If you look over at the next column, the on-track measures, the only thing we look at in an elementary school here is percentage of attendance, and you'll see the arrow is going upward, which is a very good thing. However, it wasn't good enough to meet the growth standard. The statewide performance standard was 94%, and we were at 76% at Mayfield campus. So I know Mr. Sullivan worked very hard to get students in school and have different incentives for them to come, and I know that's a goal he has privately had and been working on for some time now. So we'll keep working on that. The last column over to the right, looking at college and career readiness. Again, at the elementary school, that's the only thing we look at in this column. And the growth standard, 98% of the students need to complete the college and career ready activities, and we're at about 88% at Mayfield campus. So I know the counselor there is working very hard to increase that, so all of the students meet those college and career ready standards at Mayfield campus. So I know that's very complicated, and there are many scores that break down into all of that. Does anyone have questions about Mayfield before I go on to Scott campus? Thank you, okay. All right, looking at Scott campus, again, arrows up mean it's increased from the previous year. Green means we met growth standards. Red means we didn't quite meet the standards. And blue means we exceeded the standards. So looking at Scott campus, the percent of proficient and advanced at Scott campus fell short of the statewide goal of 81%. However, if you look at our growth in math, it's pretty impressive. At Scott campus, we're meeting or exceeding in those areas. Still doing some work in the ELA achievement piece. If you go over to the on-track measures, they have met the attendance statewide goal for last year. It actually comes from 2 years ago, but they met the statewide goal. And then the college and career, they actually received a score, 100% of students met the college and career readiness benchmark at Scott campus. So we're super proud, and thanks to Mrs. Miller for all of the extra work she put in to make sure, because in the past we haven't met that standard. So that's a great improvement for Scott campus. Questions about Scott's future MPA? I'm sorry, I know, it's a lot to look at, I understand. Okay, so looking at Lakeland Junior Senior High School, Now, a lot more goes into this for the high school level. The left column is very similar because that's the achievement and the growth column. And if you look, we're trending upward in several areas, and they have one on target where it stayed almost exactly the same. So that's what that target is in the bottom. It didn't increase, but it didn't decrease. It stayed the same for growth in math and algebra 1. I do want to note that at the high school, the Keystone scores and the PSSA scores are put together. So that's why we saw some really positive growth scores in Keystones, but some of the PSSAs offset that, and that's why there's more red there than there were on some of the other slides. So they come together, where the elementary school is just straight PSSAs. So that's a little bit different. If we go into the middle column, we look at attendance as well, and they are meeting the growth standard, and it has increased, which is a positive. The other thing that sometimes is included in that column is our percentage of English language learners, but we don't have a large enough group here at Lakeland, so we don't get scores in that particular area. So that's why the top one has been blank. Looking at the final column, career readiness, that includes graduation, 4-year cohort, college and career ready, industry-based learning, and it also includes rigorous courses of study and post-secondary transition. So there's quite a bit more that goes into that column at the high school than at the elementary school. But you will see we are exceeding expectations, and it is an upswing from the past. I have more percentages if you want them, but I feel like that's a lot. Okay, any questions there? Into some interesting, I think it's all interesting, I know, I'm a data nerd, but if we look at our AP results, so we had 62 students tested for the AP assessments last year, and I'll show you what subject areas those were in. There were 99 exams, so we had quite a few students taking more than one exam. We had 9 different subject exams. We had 39 passing scores, and if you look at the percentage of all of it brought together, we had 39% of our students getting a 3, 4, or 5. But let's look at it a little bit more specifically. There are 2 things on this chart that I need to note before we begin. AP Art and Design and AP Psychology are not courses we offer, but we had students asked to do independent studies, and then they took the exams. If you look, the student who took the AP Art and Design passed the exam for all of that student's work on his own. If you look at psychology, that student did not pass the exam, but again, it was all work on their own. If we look, I'm so proud, our AP Biology scores, 67% of the students passed the AP Bio exam. The state average is 76, so the gray is the state average. We had 5% pass AP Calculus, 100% of our students passed AP Chemistry, which is amazing. These tests are incredibly challenging. I'm super proud of them. If we look at, we did not have students pass AP Computer Science Principles A, but the second half of that exam, we did have 67% of our students pass. There are 2 different courses there, but they have similar names. One's course AB. AP Language, we had 20%. AP Literature and Composition, we had 80%. And I have to note, we have a new teacher there. So super proud of he and his students. And then AP Statistics 50% and AP US Government 33%. So lots to celebrate there for our students who are challenging themselves with AP courses. SAT results. This blows my mind every year because when I went to school, everybody took the SATs and you took them 2 and 3 and 4 times. Last year we had 39 students at Lakeland take the AP exam. There were 108 students graduating last year. Colleges are not looking at the SATs as they used to. So that's how many students took it last year. I left the statistics up there from the previous years because I just find it so interesting. 50 students the year before and 70 students the year before that. So we are on a steady decline with the number of students taking the AP exam. However, the average score is increasing. So also a positive, the students who are choosing to take it are doing well. And the scores from the past years, again, I just think that's very interesting. So I left those up there for you.
Industry-based learning. We had 17 students complete a program at our CTC last year. There's a list of all of them there. And if it was more than one student, I noted that next to that particular area of study. We had 17 students earn NOCTI certifications last year as well, which is fantastic. In speaking to our counselors, the number of students that we have attending our Career and Technical Center increases every year. We have a full bus going twice a day. For the morning and for the afternoon. So we're very proud of our students and their accomplishments at the CTC. So looking at the class of 2024 as a whole, again, as I said, we had 108 graduating students. The graduation rate was 97.2%. We had 3 students who did not walk across the stage, but 2 did complete the requirements in the summer. We had 59 students who started the year attending a 4-year institution, 3 students at a 2-year, 2 students enlisted in the military, 19 joined the workforce immediately, and we did have 3 special education students who came back to Lakeland to continue their education here. And special thanks to our counselors who keep excellent track of all of this information. That is where we use getting interventions and remediation when they be sure we're providing all the supports necessary to help students succeed. So we've been working on standardizing that across our 2 elementary buildings because it hasn't always been exactly the same. We're also, as I said, utilizing CDT so that we have data throughout the school year and there aren't surprises at the end of the year when we give the PSSA and Keystone exams. We're utilizing Linkit. Thank you again for helping us invest in data and how we're using it with Linkit. And we're creating action plans to support student interventions. We've also been working on student engagement because students can't learn if they're not engaged in lessons and in the content. So as an admin team, we have made that one of our largest goals this year is to look at what our engagement is and look at how we can improve it and how we can work together as a team to support teachers in engaging their students. So that has been something we've really started working on this school year. The last thing is, again, we're continuing our efforts to achieve consistency across buildings, grade levels, and classrooms, focusing on that curriculum and assessment. And right now, we're very much focused on those math grades that we had concerns about, and also aligning all of our science curriculum to those new STEEL standards that become mandatory next year. All right. So just a thank you to you for listening to me talk for a long time this evening. And also for all of the support that you've given us. I tried to shout out Linkit we're really using this year. We have updated curriculum and study sync. All of the support that you give us, we try to provide directly to the teachers and students here at Lakeland and the families. So thank you for always supporting us when we bring to you a need that we really have and what we can do best to support our students, families, and teachers. Anyone have questions? I hope I didn't put anyone to sleep with all those numbers, but I hope this is good data, and next year it is my goal to use some Linkit as part of this presentation, but I'm not good enough with it yet. So that will be my goal. Next year you will see me and I will bring in some information directly from Linkit so that you can see how user-friendly it really is. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Price.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. Okay. Next in informational items, Lackawanna College P&G course at Lakeland Junior High School. Dr. Lynn?
Yes, just want to make another effort to spread the word that we will be hosting Lackawanna College for an introduction to petroleum and natural gas course. It is open to Lakeland students, and it is Lakeland juniors and seniors. It is free for our current juniors and seniors. It is also open to recent graduates. It is, and it's open to, we've been working with other school districts as well to open it to them. And it is an introduction to petroleum and natural gas. That is a program at Lackawanna College. It is a really popular program. Students come out with like 100% job placement rates and making a lot of money. So this is a good opportunity not only for our current students who might have an interest in that field and might want to begin their pursuit of a credential that will allow them, a degree that will allow them to be successful in that field, but also, if we have if anybody knows anybody who has sort of graduated the last couple of years and really is in the workforce but not really sure what their future holds, this could be a great opportunity. And that it's not, you don't have to worry about getting over the hump of going home on Lackawanna College and walking into a strange place. It's right here. It's going to be on, I believe, it's scheduled for, is it Tuesday evenings throughout the spring? So Tuesday evenings, but if anybody has any questions, they can contact the high school office, give them all the information. It's really, I think, an excellent opportunity for our students and for community members who might have an interest. It's in the evening, it's after hours. So just wanted to bring that up one more time. It begins in a week.
Okay. We'll move into informational item C. Thanks to Corky's Garden Path and Brown's Gym.
Yes, just wanted to give a quick shout out. Corky's Garden Path was kind enough and generous enough to donate their time and materials to decorate the front of the junior senior high school, and we really appreciate it. Really added to the kind of the festive atmosphere here, and just those little things. Sometimes they're things that we're not maybe able to do, but it does help to make for a welcoming environment for our students. So wanted to give a sincere thank you to Corky's Garden Path. Also wanted to give a sincere thank you to Brown's Gym. So Brown's Gym, located in Clark Summit, was undergoing some renovations and replacing a great deal of equipment. They reached out to a number of local school districts, ours and school districts are included, and offered really some nice machines and some nice equipment at no charge. We just had to go pick it up, and I know a number of our current strength and conditioning coaches on their own time got over there and loaded up those machines, and they are now additions to our current field house. And so again, another example of a community business, even though it's not within our community, a local business who made a contribution to our school district. So for a sincere thank you to Brown's Gym as well. One more. Not on the list, but I do want to take a moment. January is School Director Recognition Month, and I just wanted to take an opportunity on behalf of not only myself, but our administration, our faculty, our staff, our students, and all of our families and our community as a whole, to thank each and every one of our school directors here tonight. This is obviously a volunteer position. I know that at times I joked with Mr. Solomon, said that he could have a 100% raise the next year, because 100% on zero is indeed zero. But the community service that you provide to ensure that our students are able to receive an excellent education is definitely appreciated, and it's rare that we take a moment to recognize our school directors. So with January being School Director Recognition Month, I want to offer a sincere thank you on behalf of our entire school community.
Thank you, Dr. White. I think on behalf of all the board members sitting here, very much appreciated. I just want to take a moment since we're giving a few thank yous. I know we have a lot of representation this evening from our administrators. Thank you for coming out tonight, and I know you have vested interest in the student data presentation in case there are any questions. So thank you again. You know, it's not the warmest of nights. We had you last week, we had you this week, so very much appreciate coming out. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to public comment on agenda items only. Do we have any public comment? No public comment on the agenda. We'll move to board committee reports. Our student representative report, Jeremy?
I do have a little bit to share with you all. The first thing I'd like to talk about are senior seminars. Tomorrow will mark the first senior seminar in which the senior class will be split into 3 different groups. They are excused from seminars and learn about crucial topics they will need in life, such as CPR, first aid, financial literacy, healthy relationships, service opportunities, and self-care. I would also like to talk a little more about Lunch and Learn. I mentioned this earlier. It's a new schedule that 9 through 12 is using this year. We had the opportunity to have a field trip, well, multiple field trips to Forest City Regional High School to demo Lunch and Learn, see how they liked it, and that's how we adopted it. And now soon students will be working with our administration to host our own demo days for the Carbondale Area High School to come and watch Lunch and Learn to see if they would like it. And I would also like to mention the Student Council Region H Conference. Preparations are underway for us to host the Student Council Region H Conference. It will be held on Friday, March 28th, which is an in-service day, so teachers will be here, but most students will not be, which is good because 9 schools have registered to be here, and should we get any more, I don't know how we will accommodate. That's all I have to share with you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy. Just want to point out that
Jeremy is a member of our Unified Bochi team. Jeremy's involved in everything, number 1. But he is a member of our Unified Bochi team, and number 1, you do excellent work as part of that team. Number 2, the young man can roll a Bochi ball. I will tell you that, so if any of you find yourself in a situation, any backyard barbecue, and Jeremy challenges you, do not take him up on it, especially if it's for money. But honestly, Jeremy, your level of involvement is very, very admirable, and so thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy. All right, we'll move on to legislative chairman report.
It's some beginning of the year stuff. Governor Shapiro signed a bipartisan new budget that includes a couple of increases, $285 million increase to basic education funding, $100 million increase to special education funding, and a $526 million increase to the Ready to Learn Block Grant Fund, which aims to provide additional resources for schools. And 3 major bills were introduced to the floor, among them bills that affected school scheduling, implementation of EpiPen availability and training on school buses, and financial transparency regarding staff pensions and other post-employment benefits.
Thank you, Mr. Podesta. Okay, we'll move on to the NIU report.
There's no news at this point.
Okay, thank you. Move on to the CTC report. That's me. I do not have any updates on the CTC this evening. Correspondence. Dr. White, do we have any correspondence?
We do not.
We'll move on to the motions and the agenda items. I will take the first 2. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda items for 1A, and I will make a motion to approve the minutes of the December 3rd, 24 regular organization and regular business board meeting for enclosure 1A and 1B. Do I have a second?
I second.
Motion Solomon, second Gallagher. On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion 1A, 1B passes. Motion 2A, please.
Mr. President, I motion to reappoint Mark Wyatt to serve as superintendent of schools of the Lakeland School District for a term effective July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2030, and approve the contract of employment for enclosure 2A.
I second the motion.
Motion Boyarsky, second Sullivan. On the question? Madam Secretary, please have roll call.
Badesky?
Yes.
Boyarsky?
Yes.
Renzel? Yes. Gallagher?
Yes.
Yes. Robert? Yes. Solomon?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion 2A passes. Just a quick note, Dr. White, congratulations, and we're glad to have you for another 5 years. Thank you for your service and all you do for the district. We truly appreciate having you.
Thank you, everybody, and I'm thrilled it's too small of a word for the opportunity to serve as superintendent for the Lakeland School District. This moving into the future, and hopefully, I think everybody knows that I will do my absolute very best on behalf of our students, our families, our staff, and our community. So thank you. I'm humbled.
Okay. Okay. Move on to 2B, please.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the uncompensated leave request for employee number 714 for enclosure 2B.
I second the motion.
Sullivan, Brunzel on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion 2B passes. C, please.
Mr. President, I'd like to approve the uncompensated leave request for employee 870 per enclosure 2C.
Second?
Brunzel on the motion, Gallagher on the second. On the question? Roll call, please.
Janeski,
No?
Woyarski,
Yes.
Renzel. No. Gallagher,
No.
Morrison, no. Roberts. No. Solomon.
No.
Sullivan.
No.
Motion 2C does not pass. 2D, please.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the letter of resignation of Nancy Sinskus, elementary autistic support teacher, effective January 24th, 2025.
Second.
Gallagher, Roberts on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion 2D passes. E, please.
Mr. President, I motion to approve the high school custodian, effective March 7th, 2025.
Second?
Roberts, Beneski on the question? All in favor? Those opposed? Motion E passes. F, please.
Make a motion to approve the spring sports coach volunteer list for enclosure 2D for the 2024-2025 school year only, with compensation for the 2024 to 2027 LEA collective bargaining agreement pending the receipt of all required clearances.
Second.
Beneski, Boyarsky on the question? Roll call, please.
Janeski,
Yes.
Woyarski,
Yes.
Renzel. Yes. Gallagher,
Yes.
Morrison, yes. Roberts, yes. Solomon.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion F passes. G, please.
Mr. President, I motion to approve Tiffany Burns as a long-term substitute teacher for K-2 autistic support at a salary of $45,000. February 19th, 2025, for the terms of the 24-27 LEA collective bargaining agreement.
Second.
Boyarsky, Sullivan on the question? Roll call, please.
Janeski,
Yes.
Woyarski,
Yes.
Renzel. Yes. Gallagher,
Yes.
Morrison, yes. Roberts, yes. Solomon.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
G passes. H, please.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve Paul Fortner as a long-term sub-maintenance employee at a rate of $18 per hour through February the 19th of 2024.
I second.
Sullivan, Brunzel on the question? Roll call?
Janeski,
Yes.
Woyarski,
Yes.
Renzel. Yes. Gallagher,
Yes.
Morrison, yes. Roberts, yes. Solomon.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion H passes. 3A, please.
Mr. President, I'd like to make the motion to approve the request from student 5201779042 for independent study or release time privileges for the school year 2024-25 per school year, enclosure 3A.
Second?
Motion Brunzel, second Gallagher on the question? All in favor? Those opposed? 3A passes. 3B, please.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the request of student number 4454247-226 for independent study or release time privileges for the 2024-2025 school year per enclosure 3B.
I second.
Motion Gallagher, second Roberts on the question? All in favor? Those opposed? 3B passes. 4A, please.
Mr. President, I motion to approve a cooperative sponsorship for boys lacrosse between Lakeland School District and Mid Valley School District for the 2024-2025 school year.
Second?
Robert Vanessa, on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 4A passes. 5A, please.
Make a motion to approve the list of bills for December 4th, 2024 through January 14th, 2025 for inclusion of 5A.
Second?
Vanessa, Boyarsky, on the question? Roll call?
Janeski,
Yes.
Wodarski.
Yes.
Renzel. Yes. Gallagher.
Yes.
Morrison, yes. Roberts. Yes. Solomon.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
5A passes. 5B, please.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the December 2024 Treasurer's Report for enclosure 5E.
Second?
Boyarsky, Sullivan, on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? B passes. C, please.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the fee agreement for legal services related to labor relations provided by Sweet, Stevens, Katz, Williams for enclosure 5C.
I second.
Sullivan, Renzel, on the question? Roll call?
Janeski,
Yes.
Wodarski.
Yes.
Renzel. Yes. Gallagher.
Yes.
Morrison, yes. Roberts. Yes. Solomon.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion C passes. D, please.
Mr. President, I'd like to make the motion to approve the proposal from Copeland Corporation in the amount of $74,126 to be paid using PCCD grant funds for security hardware, software, and monitoring services per enclosure 5E.
Second.
Renzel, Gallagher, on the question? Roll call?
Janeski,
Yes.
Wodarski.
Yes.
Renzel. Yes. Gallagher.
Yes.
Morrison, yes. Roberts. Yes. Solomon.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
D passes. E, please.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the proposal from BDA Architects LLC in the amount of $40,200 to provide design services for the installation of drum ceilings, new lighting, and mechanical modifications in district elementary schools as per enclosure 5E.
Second.
Gallagher, Roberts, on the question? Roll call?
Janeski,
Yes.
Wodarski.
Yes.
Renzel. Yes. Gallagher.
Yes.
Morrison, yes. Roberts. Yes. Solomon.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
E passes. Do you want anything miscellaneous? Do we have any overall public comment? If you can kindly state your first and last name and where you're from, please. Thanks, Heather.
We do utilize Kelly Services for substitute teachers, yes. I don't have that at my fingertips. So our experience varies year to year, and this year we've experienced very high fill rates. In previous years, it wasn't the case, but I wouldn't necessarily pin that on Kelly Services. I know the supply of available teachers was really low, but I'm happy to say that this year our fill rates at Mayfield, I think at both elementary schools exceed 90%. So we've had very few days where we haven't had coverage. We've considered a variety of different options, especially when you know, getting substitutes was so difficult, and so we've weighed those factors out. And you know, I know there's a couple different models that some districts utilize. One of them being they actually hire people on step one, and then they're part of the bargaining unit, and their sole role is to go, you know, serve as a building sub essentially. So we've done those analyses, and for us, and especially now with the fill rates we're seeing, we've come to the conclusion that those options would not be in the best interest for us in terms of our current budgetary situation and the fact that we're now getting such high fill rates. I don't have data at my fingertips in terms of how often our teachers are out. As I said, and with regard to actual certified teachers as opposed to emergency certified, I definitely don't have that. And that would, you know, I'm not 100% certain that we'd be able to kind of go back and find all that information out specifically. What I can say is that in terms of certification, obviously a Type 06 emergency permit makes you a certified substitute teacher. And then and I know you know this, I'm saying it for everybody. And then obviously we have those teachers who come in with an actual teacher certificate, you know, level 1 or level 2. So what I can say is that, again, our fill rates have been exceedingly high, not 100%, but exceedingly high. And there are times where it's something as an actual permanent teacher certificate or a level 1 teacher certificate, and there's times where it's an emergency permit. I'd say that the population of our substitute pool who have an emergency permit, and I'd be cautious to put a percentage on it, but I know there's a significant number of substitute teachers with emergency permits.
If there is no substitute available and there are teachers out, what's the protocol for that?
So if we have a situation where we have a shortage, or short coverage, we will either, depends on the level, obviously. At the high school level, we have teachers who have 3 periods, and we have teachers who also volunteer to cover on their plan. At the elementary school, that is, there are times where we may move a teacher if there's an opportunity to do that, or then classes can potentially be split, which is something in previous years we've had to do far more than we've been comfortable. I'm happy to say, well, it's not non-existent this year. And the principals are here, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been fairly rare that we've had to split classes at the elementary level. It's happened, obviously, we have certain days, but generally speaking, hasn't been that often.
I get it. I get it. Being an administrator, I cover classes.
Right.
I'm not used to that, so I get that. I was making sure that there was a plan in place because I do have a 6-year-old that was in a second grade classroom for the whole day because there was not coverage. So I'm going to take my professional hat off, my parent hat off.
Sure.
And just say that it was a second grade, so that's just why I'm explaining it all. Not to say that you guys have a perfect solution. I get that there is storage and it's going to happen from time to time. Just to say like, what is that plan that you need? You know, I don't want them to be sitting doing nothing all day or not interested in or anything like that. That is the service.
Sure.
So just to kind of bring up, you know, what are the other options? What are the plans if that does happen? Because I know it happens often, I live it every day. But just again, as a parent, what that looks like.
Yeah.
He does sometimes come every day, so I do know when there are subs and teachers are out, things like that. So just kind of what my own knowledge, and it was that. The only other thing on the agenda that I was asking for a little bit more information was that size fee, that schooling. What did that entail with, like, security, like software, things like that? Can you elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, I'll be cautious on how much I elaborate, because with safety, we always want to be cautious not to promote any vulnerabilities that could potentially exist. But, so this new system is it integrates with our current camera systems. And so the system that then, our cameras are on the system, it gives us a variety of different functionality with our current camera systems to ensure and put safeguards in place to ensure that we have a secure environment. And then it also includes, again, I want to be a little bit cautious, but after hours security monitoring.
All like technology.
Yes.
Driven.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's like for certain people trained to kind of utilize that equipment.
Oh, yes, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Anyone else? Public comment? If you could kindly state your first and last name and where you're from. Thank you. Sure, into the microphone. Thank you. Absolutely.
Sure. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Anyone else? Public comment? Okay. I will make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Second by Mrs. Morrison. All in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Meeting adjourned.